mic on, camera on. I've got a message. I've got a message for the non-lifters out there, the ones who they don't really get it. You know, they don't look at us going to the gym and, you know, freaking thrashing about and throwing some weights around and getting all sweaty and posing in the mirror. They just don't see it. They don't see the appeal, you know, and I'm not going to blame somebody, right? Everybody, you know, to each their own. But you need something, you know, and for those of us, right, the in crowd, we know what we're talking about. I think we can kind of boil it down to just having something you can get good at, you know. You don't have to be, I'm not even saying like the best at either. I'm just saying something you can work on. You get to enjoy it. You get to be reasonably proficient at it. And honestly, it doesn't matter what it is, you know. Reasonable success at any kind of endeavor gives you a certain feel-good kind of reaction. Plus, I mean, we're still social freaking creatures, so you get good at something enough, and then you get outward validation that you're kind of good at it. Dude, that's where it's at. You know, I'm talking back when you were in elementary school, and you drew the most badass caterpillar, and your teacher picked your paper or your drawing out of the whole group and said, now this is nice, right? You probably felt like a freaking legend. Or even something smaller, nobody's around, you're just alone in your house, you do a bottle flip and it lands. Oh, all right, I got a little pep in my step. And then take it a step further, you know, you're about to do a set of leg press or squats or something, you flip your gallon jug, it lands, you do a quick scan in the gym, you realize somebody was watching you, he gets it. You know, it's just nice, right? It's good to have something like that. And the exact opposite side of the spectrum of doing, you know, just having some kind of thing you like to do, I think is, you know, anybody who's just real gossipy, right? They love it. So, I mean, if you want to indulge, I'm not going to say I don't. You know, I love hearing some, you know, random kind of crazy drama from everybody I know if they've got something to tell me, but I don't make it my whole thing. But you know, some people just, that's it. It's like there's just in a state of observation. Any detail, any, you know, intrigue, any whatever, they want to hear about it, they want to talk about it, and they want to kind of exchange it, and that's it. And that's all they want to do with all their free time. You know, they don't want to actually make anything happen on their own. It's all just he said, she said, mumbo jumbo. You know, so, you know, everything in moderation, right? I mean, it's it's like they couldn't even fathom just spending an hour and a half on your own doing something. You know, well, now I'm being the gossiping about them. I know that's not any of you if you're here today, but plan for this evening's sunny, shining, reasonably warm back day is I want to hit back and I want to do some stuff that I haven't done for a while. And what I mean by that is over the course of this last 4.5, 5-ish month dieting phases, a lot of my lifts have gotten reasonably kind of just not repetitive in a bad way, but it's like I just didn't have a lot of stuff to do. You know, like I'm doing pull downs and rows and pullovers, light squeezing, not going too wild or anything. Then that was it. You know, that's enough to stimulate my back, maintain its size as I dieted down. You know, and now I'm back into a state of having some, not even some, freaking pounds of glycogen back in my system. You know, I got to lift some freaking serious weights. So when it comes to actually, you know, keeping myself in a state of growth, like, I'm not going to say if you did the exact same workout for a month straight, or let's say, you know, 2 months straight of a bulking phase or anything, that you're not going to make any gains from it. Obviously, that's it comes more so from just your level of exertion. Did you hit failure? Did you really push yourself? You know, did you break down your fibers and have them come back stronger? I know that's like a real bro sciencey way of looking at it, but it's a pretty, you know, reasonable kind of conclusion to come to. I know everybody's a bit more concerned with like, well, you know, you want to leave reps in reserve, you know, you just need to stimulate it, and dude, don't even stress it, man. That whole end range of a set, like first few reps, you know, obviously if you could do 20 and you stopped at 5, I don't think that's doing a ton for you, right? So if you could do 20 and you do 10, that's a little better. If you can do 20 and you do 15, That's even better than the 10. But is there something magic about doing 17 and leaving those 3 in the tank versus doing 17 and then really pushing it to 20? I'd rather push it all the way and make sure I really got there. It's like, well, no, but it's about to go down like a Conquest reference, but I'll spare you. That would probably go a couple of minutes. But yeah, so if you did the same hard workout for weeks on end, months on end, it's probably still going to give you some stimulus, but would it not make a bit more sense to want to change it up? Do things differently, try things you haven't done before. Let's say you've got a habit of always starting back with lat pull downs. That's your thing. That's how you've always done it. That's how you think you're always going to do it. It's just what you came up with, and it's not like it hasn't been working. That's the tricky part with the working out. Let's just limit it to like the bodybuilding, like lifting, to get a little bigger sort of crowd. But guys can make gains doing very different styles of working out, right? I'm talking higher volume, lower volume, freaking upper, lower, full body workouts, like guys who actually do a bro split, like where they do arms, shoulders, chest, back, legs, rest. I guess I'm a little similar, but my frequency is actually still close to that twice a week per muscle range. So I'm not exactly in bro split territory, I would say. But it's like guys can get jacked doing very different workouts. And then some guys are just jacked not even from working out. Like if you've ever looked at high level wrestlers, these guys are freaking jacked. Like they're legitimately, in some degree, kind of muscle bound based on kind of how they look. Like you'd think the dude freaking lifts 7 days a week, but really, just the wrestling does enough for him. So from his perspective, dude, man, all you got to do is wrestle hard, get in the pads, roll, and you'll just get big. And then from the bodybuilder guy's perspective, oh, well, you got to hit everything twice a week, 8 reps, 8 to 12 repetitions, 1 minute rest periods. Like what they did and what worked for them is obviously what they're going to say works, and I'm a victim of that too. I say, of course I'm going to do what I want to do because I think that it's going to work the best for me, but I'm trying not to just keep that mentality too steadfast, because obviously a lot of different stuff works, so keep an open mind. That's kind of what I'm getting at. So today's back day. I'm going to try to do it in a way I haven't done it as of late. So I think last back day I did, what did I do exactly? Did I do pullovers first? Or did I do rows? I don't remember. But either way, I'll try to remember. But I've been starting off with a lot of light pullovers or, cable pull downs and things. So today, I just want to make sure that I at least start with a movement I haven't done for at least the last few lifts, and then just try to change it up, hit things in a different way, right? Kind of get some oil in places it hasn't been oiled up before, so to speak. But I think that's kind of all as much as needs to be prefaced. Let's stop freaking talking about it and go make it happen. Half cable row, half cable pull down will be perfect. And I can guarantee I haven't started the back day off with this movement for a while. So it's hitting the 2 freaking little check marks I wanted. Something different and something I still like. But with just the stack, this isn't super heavy. So I'm really going to kind of emphasize the squeezing portion and have like a full second hold, at least for the reps fresh. Now the last few reps when I'm about at failure, those can get a little dirtier. Boy. Oh my goodness. A few more like that. This is a lot of like mid-trap. Not gonna let a lat activation here. A little, but not a lot. Maybe 2 more. But let's see how this first one feels. Or I guess this second one rather. One more. And then let's move on to some sort of pull down. Let's get a pull down started. That's sort of my upper back-ish focus movement. Let's switch gears 180. Pull something, really thrash the lats. Neutral grip pull down will do me well. And again, it feels good. It's just something I don't normally do a lot of, so I kind of want to change it up that way. And these I'll be a little nastier. Oh my gosh. Holy crap. Yeah. One more. Okay. Oh my gosh. Wow. That is enough of that. Not even that heavy either. This pull down only goes up to 200. Again, I'm going to do this set with a little bit of taste, right? A slow and controlled squeezing set that's baking. You're following the instructions perfectly. You're not veering off the path. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. A set like this, it's more like cooking. A little more romantic, a little more intimate. You can kind of play around with it a little more. And as long as the effort's there in either, then I think you're good. All right. Oh, wake up. No. Okay. So, that was some upper back focus stuff. Some pull downs. And then now another upper back focus thing. I think if I do the right combination of movements, I've got one more superset left. This back bump will be complete. So let's go pick what those movements are going to be. I lied. I think just this light squeezing pull down will be good. And when I say light, I just mean like it's within my capability to move. But after everything I've already done so far, there's no chance I'm getting 20 good reps here. Maybe 10 good ones and then 5, maybe 6 nasty ones. But it kind of ended up being upper back focused, then lat focused, then upper back focused again. So now finishing with lats. So this workout turned into kind of a back and forth of top to bottom, which I'm cool with it. I can tell my back is freaking pumped up. So after this, assuming it's a good set, we go see if that really was the case. All right. Okay. Oh my goodness. Oh, let's go find some lighting. All right. I've been relegated to the cycling room, as all the other yoga rooms are full of classes, the likes of which I actually think you can, well, I know I can hear it back there. So at least they're going nuts. But for me, let's see how back looks. And my lats almost feel extra pumped today. Like, just something to freak about them. I mean, that's certainly a reasonable amount of width, I would say. Oh man. All right, let's get one more Arnold for the road. Holy crap. Yeah, it's freaking hard to even hold any back poses. Because to pull my arms back, it's almost like my back has wanted to run into itself. But more than enough blood flow and stimulation for me to say, good lift. So, let's get in the car, man. We out. Yeah. That was good. That was a solid back day. The only thing I will say, though, is my left lat, kind of like around my, like, really sort of deep back of my armpit kind of area, felt a little, like, tender, like right when it inserts, when I was doing those cable rows in the beginning. I'm not exactly certain what that's all about, but it's something to be wary of. They felt totally fine doing the regular, even those heavy pull downs in the rows, but something about like that, like just something. I was feeling a little tight. And even if it's just a little thing like that, that is more than enough to warrant your attention, right? At least as a, reasonably informed and, hopefully intense lifter. That's something that should make you say, whoa, what's going on here? That's it feels a little funky. That's something which I shouldn't really take too lightly. Because, let's say you maybe tweak something, and then before you know it, that tweak, that little nothing, which, you just kind of brushed off as whatever, turns into, dude, yep, got to go to PT. No more back for me. And it's like, not ideal, right? And that's obvious. I don't need to really get into that. So, other than that, though, felt pretty good. And those close grip pull downs felt really good. I was getting like deep lat activation more than normal. And that might just be to do with the fact that I haven't really done those pull downs that much, at least not lately. So, I might have just been missing out on hitting it from that exact specific angle. But now nothing else to do but go home, eat something, and start season 2 of Curb Your Enthusiasm. Am I wrong? Do I have bad taste for liking Curb Your Enthusiasm, but not really kind of jiving with Seinfeld? I've never sat and watched episode 1 onward, so take that sort of take with a grain of salt. But I've seen enough clips to get the gist, and it's like, I don't know, it's almost too much. Is that kind of weird to say? Because at least, they're both a show. It's both scripted and written out. But at least, maybe I just don't like sitcoms, honestly. I'm not really, I don't know. That's just my take, at least. So, who knows? Maybe I'll get bored enough to watch Seinfeld afterward. But I don't know, how many seasons of Curb Your Enthusiasm are there? A zillion? And they just keep coming out? Or do they? Whatever. But that's going to keep me company on the cardio bike. So no need to just toil away watching TikToks and Instagram Reels. No, I can at least watch something that had some effort put into it. It's kind of, we're reaching a threshold here, because all the TikTok posts and all the Reels and everything, it's just it's approaching the singularity of attention grabbing. You know what I'm saying? So, right, soon enough, maybe I'll have to, maybe I'll just be forced to follow the algorithm, and on the left half of the screen, or I guess this half of the screen, I'll just include some Subway Surfers gameplay to, keep your attention for the full lift. Maybe not, but just something to think about. I'm trying to minimize my toiling. It probably wouldn't be bad to go flip phone. Yeah, no, come on. I'm too addicted for that. But post-workout meal, who knows? Who freaking knows, if we're being real? I know I've got some rice ready, and I know I've got a pound of ground beef, and that's a pretty quick cook. This is one little Sam cooking tip that I've been kind of leaning towards, is anytime I'm cooking, if I want a full-on plate of sunny side up eggs, then I'll put them in a pan. But if I'm just going scrambled, or if I'm doing the ground beef or anything else, if you cook it in a pan, as soon as you start stirring it around, you're just making a mess because you're splashing all over the place. Get yourself what sort of looks like a saucepan. I'm still going non-stick, but I'm sure the micro Teflons are going to start eating away at me, so maybe I should stick to stainless or cast iron or something. But if you kind of just stir something up in there, you don't make a mess of your stove. So just something I've been doing. But pound of ground beef, I don't know how many minutes, just enough until it's kind of fully browned. Strain if necessary. If you get a pretty lean cut, or a lean, I guess you'd say a lean blend, like a 95.5, 96.4 or something. I've seen 98%, but I think they're probably just BSing me, just slapping 98% onto what's actually like a 95 or maybe even like a 94% ground beef. But that was today's breakfast. Pound of ground beef, 2 bagels, some cream cheese. I think the total macros ended up being about 90 grams of protein, probably 100. But with the protein, I'd kind of round down just to really make sure I kind of get everything. But yeah, about 90 protein. I think I counted about 35 fat, and then about 100 carbs, including those 2 bagels. So it's just about 1,000 calorie breakfast. And something about the red meat, it's staying in the routine. You know, I don't remember exactly who it was, but I remember talking to somebody about, kind of bulking up. Because for me, at least, my main protein sources for a while used to be tons of freaking protein powder. Like, not every meal, of course, but a pretty substantial amount of my intake, like easily 125 grams just from shakes kind of spread across the day. And ever since I switched that to be basically just legit protein sources, I've definitely noticed a gut improvement. Now, that's not like quantitative, like I got a test done and like my gut's working better or anything, but just like my subjective like feeling of metabolism and passing things through, and not being like bloated or anything like that. Yeah, I'd say go for the animal source as often as possible. Now, of course, if you're not exactly the meat eating type, I don't know what to tell you. Right? Get your second best bet. Look up the protein grading scale and try to eat foods that fit your ethical desires as highly graded as possible. Because that's what you're working with. Right? Those amino acids got to come from somewhere, and your diet is going to be mainly it. And don't come at me with the well, how does a cow or how does a gorilla get so much muscle? They're eating just fruits and vegetables. They're just eating hay all day. Look, man, they've got a completely different system of digestion than we do, right? We've kind of evolved to eat some cooked foods. At least that's what I've been taught. Be it I forget the exact adaptations of teeth and whatever, but I know you don't have freaking 3 stomachs like a cow does. So yeah, a cow can get up to what? Well, shit, how heavy is a full-grown cow? I don't know, 600 pounds, 800 pounds? Definitely more than 5 of muscle, eating just hay. Basically zilch for actual like classic protein, but they got 3 stomachs, they can handle it. You do not. So I guess that's a little obvious, right? But still worth mentioning. I'm gonna try to make this turn without hitting anybody. But yeah, I'm thinking ground beef, rice, some G. Hughes barbecue sauce on top. Probably on top of half of that ground beef, and then I'll make the other half some creamy buffalo ranch. I've been liking that, but the one that I have, it's too spicy. Like, it's extra spicy. It's spicier than you would expect a creamy buffalo ranch sauce to be, to the point where if I do too much, shit, man, I need a drink. But now I'm just freaking rambling away. So plan for tomorrow: arms, potentially a touch of shoulders, potentially a touch of forearms, but arms are a freaking guarantee. So not exactly sure which gym I'm gonna hit arms at, because if I want to do heavy dips, not all the gyms in my sort of circulation have a good tricep focused dip machine. So if I want to go somewhere a little more old school, don't really care about dips, maybe want to do more overhead stuff and dumbbell, we'll just have to see. But that's a decision for tomorrow's me to make. For now, I just get to go home and chill. So I will see you tomorrow for what I hope to be a freaky arm pump.